video is going to demonstrate on how you install laminate floor under a door jamb here. So you can see I have about a 5-inch spot here I have to fill in, along with this area here. And this is the end of the road here, or end of the door. The floor doesn't go beyond this point here. So it stops right here under the door. So anyway, I got my piece here. It's going to go in here. So what you do is you line up your floor right here, right at the end here. You put a mark about a 3/8 of an inch under the door jamb, just beyond this casing right here, the edge of the casing, which would be right about there. So you want to go beyond the casing just slightly, and then get out your tape measure. A lot of times you can use your pencil to measure, but this pencil is too short and that's way too far. So grab your tape measure, and you got 6 3/4. So you come over here, 6 3/4 inches, which is right there. Gonna measure that 6 3/4. But you also want to notch. You want to extend this point. So 6 3/4 is going to start like back here, right where the base is, the base molding. So 6 3/4, right there. And then if you want to get, should really measure this here. So this is about 7 1/8. That's to the door jamb right here. So you want to cover this area right here. So 7 1/8. So you mark that 7 1/8. So what you're going to end up having is a step in your flooring. Roughly, you can go like this, 27 1/4. Measure this here, 27 1/4. So the step is going to end up like right about 3 inches, 2.5 inches from the mark where the door jamb is. So the rest of it is 6 3/4, which is right here. You measure that all the way down. You use my dad taught me this, you guide your finger along the edge of the flooring like that, and you should get the same dimension. As long as this is the same, this is like 6 3/4. So, and that's what this is, 6 3/4. So yeah, that's a nice little technique. Just kind of guide your finger along the edge. On hardwood floor, you got to watch it because it might have some slivers along here, so you got to be careful. This doesn't have slivers, so you can run your finger right along the edge without getting any slivers. So there's your notch. And I'm going to cut that out. Let me pause this. Let me cut this out. So now I cut it out. You can see here, got my notch in there. That's right where the casing is going to go, right here. And then this is the base area. So now what you do, if you want to see if it's going to fit in there, you can lay this right in here, kind of like right where it's going to go. And you can clearly see it's going to make it. I got a nice clearance cut there, so I got enough room for wiggle room. So now what you want to do is you can use a plane. And what I've done is I've set this plane up so it's offset. I move the blade over to this way, so when you go like this, you want to cut this locking system. You're never going to get the board in the locking system because you can't raise the board up. So you have to cut the locking system off, unfortunately. And you're kind of stuck with the board over there that's already set in place. So the only thing you do is when you slide it in, you can slide it back that way and lock it into this slot over here. So what you're going to do is run your plane and literally like flush out the locking system on here. slightly. You don't go too crazy on it. So that nips off a little bit of that edge. Sometimes you can use a utility knife. Sometimes you gotta use it. Over here you could probably raise it up but you can use a utility knife to trim some of that locking system off. Another technique you can use also is a chisel, a nice sharp chisel. This material is pretty dense, so and it chips real easy too, so you got to be real careful. Some is from L&L Products or Lumber Liquidators. Lumber Liquidators now is being bought back by the original owner of Lumber Liquidators, so it's no longer going to be called L&L Flooring. So, all right, so you get your board in there. You lay your board in. Make sure it's clean. Make sure there's no debris. That locking system is real precision, so you can't go crazy. And then now what you do is, since you cut the locking system off, you got to lay a bead of tight bond, or if you got some Elmer's. I think Elmer's is no longer in business, but put a little there, little on this edge here. And that's going to hold it in place because you've cut the locking system off. You lay your board in there. Slide it under the casing and the door jamb. Bring it back a little bit. Now, since you can't raise it up, get your pry bar. Well, first of all, get your block of wood, your tapping block. I actually use this right here. It's actually a piece of flooring as a tapping block. Working in a basement. There's a dog barking up there. So what you do is hold it down the edge. You want to hold the edge down right where it's going to go. You start right here. It should go together pretty easy. So you see I got this tight along here. The rest of this you're going to have to do with a pry bar. Or you can use a tapping bar. But I like to use a pry bar. It should snap right together. And when you snap it together, make sure you push the corner. Make sure you push that edge down. Just like that. There. So that's all done there. It's all tight. And then you want to hold down. Put your tapping block down here. And then hold this edge down as you're tapping. Sometimes you gotta as it starts to lock in, you can actually release it. Or if you got somebody helping you, you can have them hold that down. There you go. That's a nice tight fit. Let's snug this up a little bit more. You can feel it lock in too. And that's how you do it right there. So you got a nice fit here. And you can see, I'm going to show you. So right here, you got a nice fit right where the base is in the casing. So the shoe molding is going to cover this all the way down to the corner. And I'll proceed to do the same thing down here too. I got to undercut this casing here, and probably going to have to join it right in the middle here under the door bifold door bracket. It's going to go right here. So I'm going to probably cut it right here and slide this one in, and then proceed to do the rest. So anyway, yeah, that should help out. This is a big job here. You can see this is about 800 square feet. Just finishing up. It's a basement in Grosse Pointe Woods. Guys got some guitars up there. And I'm doing shoe molding too as well. So anyway, like and subscribe to my video. This job's turning out really nice. We got some plumbing, go around plumbing there. And then over here I did some fancy plumbing clean outs actually for plumbing. I had to cut circles. I used my my fin tool, or my what do they call that? Multi-tool, to cut these circles. Here's the extra piece here that went right here. So that works out really good. Or you can use a hole saw. Hole saw works really good. If you don't have a hole saw, you can use a fin or a multi-tool on that. So yeah, this is a good sized job. Gonna finish it up today. All right. Everybody have a good weekend. It's October, it's middle October, almost Halloween 2024. All right, bye.